Yo, how's it going, everybody? In this video, we're going to be talking about Heartgem Runes in New World. So if you don't know what those are, don't worry, because we're going to go over all of that in this video. But more specifically, I really want to talk about in this video how you obtain the Heartgem Runes and what all you need to craft these things. There's a lot of preparation going on the live servers right now to get ready for Brimstone Sands whenever it launches. And part of that preparation is getting your materials ready for these Heartgem Runes. So they require a lot of materials, and a lot of people are running around gathering these things. So I just wanted to share with you guys exactly what it takes, and we have a total list here, nice and neat little chart for you guys to look at over here on newworldfans.com. So we're going to get after it. I'm going to show you guys how to craft them, but first let's talk about what they are for those of you that may not know what these Heartgem Runes are. So the Heartgem Runes are essentially an ultimate ability that's coming into New World with the Brimstone Sands update. They're an item that you can get, and then you slot the item underneath your weapon. It works much like a weapon, etc. You just put the item into your slot in your inventory. I think it's default key of G on the PTR. So once you have the item, you just again drag it over, you slot it, and then you can use that item. So it does not have a cooldown like another ability. Basically what happens is after you obtain it and you slot it, your light, heavy attacks, and other attacks and abilities will charge your ultimate or charge your heart rune up. And once it gets full, you can then use the ability, and then of course that depletes the charge, and then you have to build the charge back up before you can use it again. So there's several different types of these things that you can obtain, and I'm not going to go too in depth about what they are in this particular video because I really want to focus in on how you obtain them, but we'll go over what they are really quickly here just in case you don't know. And if you want to get more detail, you can of course come over here to the guide that we're looking at. I'll make sure to link that in the description below. So there are several different types. There's the Grasping Vines Heartgem Rune. So the Grasping Vines rune, it places vines around you that deal 100% rune damage and roots enemies within a 4-meter radius for 3 seconds. And then there's 3 different categories of each of these types of runes, and we won't get into those in this video, but there are 3 different categories of the runes, and you won't see those until you reach like the legendary status of the runes, or until you can craft the legendary. There's minors, there's majors, and then there's legendary versions, which we'll talk about here in just a second. So there's also the Stone Form Heartgem Rune. It allows you to harden yourself with layers of stone, cleansing all CC or all crowd control debuffs and granting immunity to both stagger and crowd control debuffs for 5 seconds. That's pretty wild. You have the Heretic's Fall Heartgem Rune. This one allows you to fly up into the air, and then you plummet back down into the ground, staggering and dealing 100% rune damage within a 3-meter radius. If you press the Heartgem ability or basic attack input while hovering to trigger, you can trigger the fall immediately. And then there's of course 3 different categories of those as well. The Cannon Blast Heartgem Rune. You have the Cannon Blast Rune summons a cannon and fires a powerful long-range shot that deals 100% rune damage. You have the Detonate Heartgem Rune, and this one allows you to charge yourself with an explosive energy for 3 seconds, and then you detonate, dealing 100% rune damage within a 5-meter radius. So those are the different types of runes. Now let's talk about how do you get these things. This is what everybody's asking. This is what people keep asking me on stream. How do you get these things? What do we need to do? What do we need to prepare for? And what do we need to gather to get them? So again, there's 3 different types. You have your minor Heartgem Rune, you have your majors, and then you have your legendary Heartgem Runes. All right, the minors are going to be fairly easy to obtain. You're just going to get them by running expeditions. So whenever if you're trying to get the Cannon Blast Rune, for example, you can go run Barnacles and Black Powder, and then Admiral Black Powder will have a pretty high chance of dropping the minor rune. If you can't get it or struggling to get it, you can craft it with a materia system. They are very expensive though, 8,000 materia to craft the minor runes, but you'll probably get them as a drop. So there is one that's going to drop from Barnacles. There's one that's going to drop from Tempest. That's the Dark Ascent one. There's one that's going to drop from Garden of Genesis. That's the Grasping Vines. And then you have the Detonate, which is going to drop from the new Ennead Expedition. And then you have the minor heart rune gem of Stone Form, which is going to drop from Lazarus, dropping from Chartis. So that's how you get the minor versions. Now these work much like other items in the game, like artifact versions or artifact items, if you guys know what those are, like your trophy materials, for example. You have to have the artifact in your inventory to be able to craft the next item up. So you'll have to have a minor heart rune to craft a major heart rune. So for example, if you want to upgrade your Cannon Blast, you first have to obtain the minor, and then you can upgrade it to a major. So in order to craft a major gem, you're going to need the following. To craft one major, you need the minor of that type, you need 25 runestone, 5,000 umbral shards, and 5 corrupted lodestone. That's to craft one of those majors. All right, so then once you get on into the legendary versions of these things, this is where it gets a little bit crazy, because once you get into the legendary versions, there's 3 different types of the legendary versions. There is a greater, a stalwart, or brutal, or a cunning, stalwart, brutal, of each type. So there are stone forms. There's 3 different types of stone forms, 3 different types of detonate, 3 different types of grasping vines, 3 different types of dark ascent, and 3 different types of cannon blast. So the difference in these forms are the perks that you're going to get. So for example, a cunning heretic's fall rune will give you crippling fall and leeching fall. Those are perks you'll get on that particular rune. Stalwart's heretic's fall will give you leeching fall, fortifying fall, and then the brutal version will give you empowering fall and leeching fall. So that happens for every one of these runes. So how do we get the legendary version? All right, well, in order to craft the legendary version, you again need the artifact, which is the major heart rune. So you would need one of those. You would need 10 times wooden coin. Wooden coins are going to be a new item in the game, I believe, that you can get from Brimstone. You're going to need 50 vials of suspended Azoth, 25 runestone, and then for a lot of these you're going to need some gypsum, etc. So then you're going to need 10 wooden coin, 3 gypsum orbs to craft the stalwart version, 25 runestone, and then 10 emerald gypsum. So these follow a very clear pattern here. The first version of these, the greater version or the cunning version, they all are going to take coins, Azoth, runestone. The next version, they are all going to take coins, gypsum orbs, runestone, and emerald gypsum. Then the brutal version, all of them are going to take coins, ruby, runestone, and garnet. Excuse me, not runestone. The material 4 changes for each of them. All of these kind of follow the same pattern here. So you have wooden coin, vial of suspended Azoth, and then pristine sapphire for the heart rune, or the detonate rune. And then for the grasping vines, you're going to have thorny vines. And then for the dark ascent, you're going to need feathers. And then for the cannon blast, you're going to need saltpeter. So it's a lot of materials that you're going to need to craft these things. And whenever you start really breaking this down, if you want to craft all 3 of these, for example, then you're going to have to get 3 cannon blasts. So you're going to have to get 75 runestone, 15 umbral shard, 15,000 umbral shards, and then 15 corrupted lodestone to craft all 3 of these. So here is kind of the big picture of what you need to gather on live. This is what you need to be working for on live now if you want to get every single one of these. If you're not interested in getting all of these, then you can pick and choose which ones you want, and then obviously go out and gather the materials or buy the materials for these. Some of these materials you cannot buy, like your gypsum, or your emerald gypsum, your ruby gypsum, your garnet gypsum, etc. You can buy gypsum orbs now from the faction vendor, but the gypsum, the other gypsum, ruby, garnet, you're just going to have to go run the events to get them. But all in all, what you are going to need to craft all of the heart rune gems, all of the legendary ones, of course, you're first going to have to obtain the minor ones from running the dungeons. All right, that's a given. Then you need 450 runestone, 75,000 umbral shards, 75 corrupted lodestone, 150 wooden coins, 250 vials of suspended Azoth, 15 gypsum orbs, 50 ruby gypsum, 60 pristine sapphires, 3,000 thorny vines, 15,000 feathers, 3,000 saltpeter, 50 emerald gypsum, and 50 garnet gypsum. So in order to get all of the rune stones, this is the list you need to come to. This is what you need to be preparing for. So this is why you see a lot of people running around gathering a boatload of lodestone right now. This is why lodestone is in such high demand. We know we have the runestone stopwatches, but now we also have these rune stones, these hard gems that people are trying to get. So runestone is in very high demand, which means everyone is out gathering tons and tons of lodestone. So this is the list. This is what you need to be shooting for. A lot of people have been asking me. I have been trying to prepare myself for Brimstone, so I've been going out and gathering a lot of these materials and acquiring them in any way I can. Been running my OPRs, my arenas, etc., to try to get my my gypsum. Been getting my emerald gypsum every day, which is something that I usually, I get it sometimes I don't, but now I'm making a point to get it every day, because you're gonna need 50 of those bad boys to craft every rune in the game right now. So that's the overall list. You guys can come reference this. Again, I'll link it down in the description below. It's newworldfans.com. You can come here, you can see your shopping list, what you need to get, and that's it. that's how you get them. You can of course get all the information you need as well about what each gem does, their perks, etc. All of that is included in this guide, but I really just wanted to share with you guys this list right here. That was kind of the gist of the video because a ton of people have been asking me about it. That's gonna do it for this one, chat. Chat, like I'm on Twitch. Yo, if you want to come watch me on Twitch, come on over to twitch.tv/BDLG. We stream every Tuesday through Friday over there. It's a great time. We have fantastic conversations about New World and just about life in general. So come join us over there every Tuesday through Friday, twitch.tv/BDLG. And that's it for this one, guys. I'll see you in the next one.